What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another weekly rewind. We've got week 12 in the books, and we are back after the Thanksgiving break with both myself and Jake back from his illness, along with Brandon joining us this week, coming off a very tight win against the Lanner last week. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up?
How's it going? How's it going?
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Thursday game's going on right now, just about to end. Yeah, we're a little late on this rewind, but it's okay. So we are 2 weeks out from the playoffs. We've got this week and next week regular season, and then we're in playoff mode after that. So
Yeah,
it's
crunch
crunch
time.
time. Yeah, no kidding. So we're gonna get into it. We'll talk a little bit of playoffs. We'll probably talk more playoffs next week though. Once we have the picture, you know, it'll be a lot more straightforward because a lot of things can still happen for people to get in at this point. But let's start off with the matchups. We can get going with what game do we have? We'll start with me and Cade because that was pretty stinky. Embrace the tank doing his job. He had,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, he had a couple of injuries going on here. Damian Harris, I think, got KO'd out of that game. 1.6. Tyler Boyd was bad. It wasn't last week that was Jamar Chase's first week, right? It's this week.
I believe so. Yep,
I think he's
yep.
back this
Yeah.
week. Yeah. Traylon, I don't. He might have gotten knocked out. He had a good week, but Traylon looks like back-to-back weeks of pretty good points after missing some time. That's good to see. Cade's bench honestly was pretty fucking great. DK
Yeah, that's the
Metcalf.
tank.
I mean, he has the tank, right? Exactly.
That's the
Yeah,
Yeah.
tank. Kenneth Walker.
Even Pittman had a solid game. That's good to see.
Pittman. Yeah.
Although you're not keeping Pittman because I think Pittman was a pretty early draft pick.
Well, I was actually just looking. I'm looking at his roster. I'm trying to think of who he would keep for next year.
It's got to be Ken
So,
Walker is one of them, right?
Yep, should be.
Drafted with the
Etienne,
100th
do you think
overall
he'd keep
pick.
Etienne?
Mm,
When you look at his team, he doesn't have too many options.
Where was Etienne drafted? 30th? Probably not. That's end of this. What's that? End of the third round.
I don't know. We can.
AJ Brown was probably a keeper last year. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
you could
was.
put
Yep, as
him
a
at
cater.
ADP.
Well, so Kenneth
Because he
Walker's
had.
got to be a lock because Kenneth Walker's like a 10th round keeper.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know. Traylon maybe?
I
When was
don't know.
Traylon? 130th, 13th round? We'll see how he ends the season, I guess.
We can speculate more later.
Yeah, decent. My team was pretty stout. Justin Herbert had a good week in the absence of Justin Fields. Both my Justins. We had T. Higgins with a nice game. Curtis Samuel stunk. I didn't even see that. Wow, 1 point. I didn't really care because I was winning. Derrick Henry was meh. Kamara, I benched Kamara in a different league, and I was glad I did. 2 fumbles. Didn't lose him, I guess, but Knox was stinky. James Conner was pretty good. Maher, meh. And Miami defense was the top scoring defense of the week, so that was happy to see. Bench was solid. Latavius Murray had a pretty good showing for this is his first week as the go-to starter after Melvin Gordon left.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be. He's gonna be an interesting one to stick in the lineup. Carolina's not that hard to run against, and I think this week he is tougher. Yeah, he's Baltimore this week, which is a bit tougher of a matchup. So I think I was gonna stick him on the bench this week, but something to think about. And Brian Robinson had a good week. There's
Yeah.
some positives.
Seeing Brian
I-
Robinson do that after he got shot earlier in the season, right?
Yeah,
Or
He
before the
got
season.
shot
preseason.
twice.
Yeah.
And
What was it? The thigh and the ass or something like that.
Yeah, I saw he had an emotional post-game speech with his team. It was pretty sick to watch.
Mm-hmm.
and he had a big hat.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. It was
He didn't see that.
like a
Yeah.
6-gallon hat or whatever.
Huge hat. Yep.
Like
Big points, big hat.
If you look up Brian Robinson,
It's like a normal hat, but it's just big. It's just big.
yeah, it was like massive. It's like the size of a
I'll
football
get to
helmet,
that.
also
Oh
on
shit.
like a hat. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
awesome. What the hell? It's like filled in too, like it sits on top of his head perfectly.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Where
I've been seeing a lot of those.
What
I've
the
seen a
heck?
lot of those.
It looks like
Big
an
hat,
edited
bro.
picture
It
almost.
does. It looks fake.
Yeah,
But it's an actual thing.
That's hilarious.
yeah. I also saw that. It's pretty funny.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get off this matchup because it it was what it was. But let's get over to we're gonna get to George and Preston next because that was also a pretty stinky game for different
His
reasons.
the name
Yeesh.
change, man. When is it coming?
Which one?
It's not coming.
Because George isn't
Ever
in six
since
anymore.
it's been,
It's gotta be
I'm
Preston's.
pretty sure Preston hasn't won since he's changed his name to defense team either. By the way,
What kind of losing streak?
because
is
he beat
Preston on?
me. He beat me with that
Two-game
name.
losing streak, yeah.
He's got.
It's got to be more than. Oh, it's
He's on a
two.
2-game
He's only
streak.
lost.
He beat
He's had it for like
Lemons,
5 weeks. Yeah.
and then he lost 1, 2, and then he lost another 2, and then he beat Jake. Fuck Jake. Yeah, he's lost quite a few. Because he was one of the top teams in the league for a while, wasn't he?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
he started
At the start of the
Yeah.
season?
I believe so.
Yeah, and he had an
I don't know
okay
if I
game.
remember that, but
He
Yeah.
was fine. You know, I mean, Joe Burrow was pretty disappointing, but it won't kill you. CD was great. Mike Evans was meh, but Mike Evans does that. Aaron Jones was good. Chubb was good. Kittle was disappointing, but tight ends do that. Lockett was good. Justin Tucker asserting Manthai's dominance of best kicker in the league, 15 points, nice. Although he was not the top scoring kicker, so fuck off, Preston. Buffalo 8.5, like that's fine. You know, the bench was it was okay. Zay Jones had a big
Zay
week.
Jones.
I think he picked up Zay Jones after that, though. I don't think Zay
Again,
Jones was on
I
his
feel like
first.
he's had Zay Jones for a while.
That's a Zay Jones simp. Just like Lane. I can't believe he's not on Lane's team. But I mean, it's tough to compete when you're going up against George. I mean, George had Josh Jacobs, top scoring running back, and Justin Jefferson, top scoring receiver. Watson, another big game. Is that 3 in a row for him? It is.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna be.
Love saved him. He had that big touchdown.
Oh my
catch.
God.
Yeah, it was like a
The Love
60-something
came
yarder
in.
at the end.
Yeah,
You know, he's going to be a
63
guy
yarder.
that, depending
What a
on the
catch.
offseason, George could maybe keep him. That's like
was he drafted?
Yeah,
He
14th
was
round, I think.
drafted.
So
Wait, actually, somebody. It wasn't me. I couldn't have the job.
149th
Somebody else
overall.
drafted him.
he was 149th overall. I think that's 14th round, right? Could be
Yeah.
15th round, actually, because 1 through 10 is
Yeah,
first.
I saw Jacob
Yeah.
because I was watching. I saw that game went to
Jacobs is
overtime, and I was
nuts, dude.
watching for Devontae news, and then I see an 83-yard touchdown. I'm like,
Yeah.
please be Devontae, and then it says Josh Jacobs rushed for 83-yard touchdown. It's like, oh,
I
He's
saw
been so
that.
good.
yeah, just
You guys happen to?
freaking.
Do you guys want to guess what? Maybe you already know already, but do you know what Derek Carr's overtime record in his career is?
I have no fucking clue.
I guess he's undefeated.
Is he?
That's a good guess. He's 9-1.
Wow,
I would never guess that.
that's crazy. Good for him, man.
9-1.
That's actually pretty impressive.
Excellent
considering
hand
that
up
was kind of a shit
on
shot.
that one. But that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey, it's all about the dual threat quarterback, man.
True.
And if you notice, Justin Jefferson had 32.34. Bit of a weird scoreline. He did throw for 11 yards in this game. It was like in the first quarter too. It was weird. They didn't even score. It was like second down. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but he did it.
Jefferson is just inevitable. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he is.
7 weeks with over 100 yards, with like 4 of those being over 150.
I mean, Kirk was
Almost.
throwing the ball to him in double coverage, and he was just coming down with it. It did not matter. Patriots defense could not handle him. You know, so anyways, Georgia's team went off, right? I mean, Geno was good. Jefferson beast, Watson beast, Jacobs beast. Singletary was, he was Singletary. Let's be honest. Mark Andrews was okay. Rashad White was good, and then Carlson and Dallas defense. You know, on the bench, I mean, Kyler had 30 points. Shit. Amir Abdullah had 14.5. The Raiders running. Who did they play the Seahawks? Whoever plays the Seahawks this week, start the running back.
No.
That's about
Never
it.
would have guessed George would have 190 with Cooper Cup on the IR.
Yeah,
play
no
that.
kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good for him
That's
too, because he was on a
crazy.
losing streak, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did need.
He was like
he's been,
3 straight or something like that.
I think so.
He's been struggling. It's a big
Yeah.
win for George.
So, yeah, good win for George there. Preston average, but yeah, I mean, I would have beat your ass, Preston, by 0.06. So, you suck.
Preston might have to run the
I know.
table for a playoff spot.
Yeah, actually, he does
Max-
have it on the table. Luckily for him, he has Greg this week, but we'll get into that a little later when we do the matchup previews.
Is this the first week that he didn't start Aaron Rodgers? He started someone else over him? Or
Nah, I think he's been starting Geno.
I feel like we're-
right?
okay, I was right. I feel like we tried to talk him into it at one
You
point.
might be right. Well, he didn't start a quarterback at all last week
Last week, oh yeah,
because Geno was on bye. I don't
He
know.
would've lost anyway.
He didn't start Rodgers because Rodgers was Thursday game, right, against Tennessee.
And then he started
He had-
Geno the previous week again.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
So
he's been one of the
Kyler,
strugglers.
Geno, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
he's off of the
So-
Rodgers Kool-Aid, it seems, which is
Yeah.
smart right now.
yeah.
It's a good call.
Let's hit Jake and Mike. Oh,
The
this
name
this is the wrong week.
feuding.
Oh, I changed my name back, but
Yeah, I know what it was.
There
Don't
we
you
go.
worry, I didn't forget.
Jake and Mike. Yeah.
Lemons
kinda
came with the
disappointed.
classic name against me, so I had
Lisa's lover. Yeah, it was
to.
get this Deb, right? Let's get this Deb.
Let's get this Deb. Let's get this Deb. And
Nice.
we were able to get a nice little 37 point victory. Love it.
Yeah, that's a
uh,
huge
The
victory.
7-point deb.
Decided some the 37 point Deb. No, just love having a season where you beat Lemons twice. So that always feels good. So
That is
if I see him in
huge.
the playoffs, I'll be a little nervous, but the chance to go 3-0.
Hey, you're 2 of his 3
be
L's,
insane.
Jake. You're the reason he's
yeah,
not
I'm
in
looking
first
at
place.
it. I've got 2 out of his three losses. That's crazy.
You're
but
the Lemons killer.
I think so.
Evan McPherson. Must have been Evan McPherson.
Yeah,
Thank you, Preston.
yeah. He had. I think the week before he had 17.
He did. You
had
are correct.
17, so yeah, I mean it's nice to be able to grab somebody, probably a top 5 pick, any position. Just grab him off the waiver wire.
You fucker.
And- Yeah, Samaje played pretty well for me. 19.3. Eckler did Eckler things.
yeah.
Stephon Diggs got his projection pretty much, and Lamar at least got to his projection. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a long time, man.
It's been a long time. We had 1 week, week 8.
Yep.
But besides week 8, it's been since week 3. That he's
That's
had a
tough.
decent game.
That's dedication.
The Ravens
Yeah, I
took
mean-
that game away, too.
He's got the Broncos this week, though. That's actually huge for me because the Broncos shut everybody down. Their games are always
Preseason,
terrible.
I was so high in the Ravens preseason because,
I was too.
oh my god, and Lamar started out
Tied
so
for the
hot.
division with they're still tied with the division. I know
Yeah.
with the Bengals, but losing to the Jags when you had a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter.
It's a
It's just
very Atlanta Falcons thing to
ideal.
do.
Also, felt good about seeing Elijah Moore get a touchdown because I haven't heard his name in a long time.
Yeah, that's
So
that.
that's pretty nice,
Who's the Whites for
Mhm.
the Jets? I don't remember what his first name is, but
Sounds right.
it sounds white. Yeah, he's got this. So does he have the? Do you guys know? Does he have the job for the rest of the year? Is Zach Wilson
Oh,
done?
Mike White, you're talking
Mike
about?
White. Yeah. Thank you, Mike
I was
White.
confused for a second there. Yeah, I don't know if he does. I think that the coach said that Zach Wilson isn't done for the season, but
Mike's
I don't
starting
know.
this week though, right? Because I picked up Conklin and I
assume
kind of want to
so.
start Conklin.
I mean the Jets did better when he's playing.
A lot
so
better. Like
they
Mike
should.
White is probably a better quarterback, honestly. I mean, based on how he played
Yeah, at
last
this
week,
point for sure.
the offense looks better with him.
Definitely.
We'll see. Yeah, good game from you, Jake. Yeah, that was solid.
Seeing
Felt
Lemons,
good. Didn't start Danny Dimes. I had my name might be Danny Dimes season, but I saw the matchup against the Jags with
Yeah,
Lamar, and I had to do it.
facts.
Had to do
one
it.
last thing with Lemons' squad. Like, I understand Taysom Hill has big game potential, but when you look at his game log, like, he's been so bad the past
Lemons doesn't have a tight
5
end.
weeks.
He's
I
just-
understand, but anyone off the waivers you think's gotta be better. Like
Conklin was out
Taysom
there.
Hill-
I just picked him
Taysom
up.
Hill is having like 5-point projections
Shit.
nowadays.
I'd be
and
picking up Evan Ingram.
Oh, did he officially drop Kyle Pitts?
Oh yeah, I mean he's on
Yeah, he
IR,
did.
so
I know he's out for the season.
and you're not keeping him. He was like a third round.
I just think
pick.
it's funny.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, I haven't dropped Mike Williams, but honestly, I don't know if Mike Williams is playing in the regular season anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, the trade that
Yeah,
keeps on
Lemons
giving.
seems awful.
Yeah, it was a tough week from Mike here because Mahomes didn't do what you want from Mahomes. Debo must have gotten hurt. He's got the questionable tag. Tyreek was
good.
fine. Saquon was fine. Gibson was meh. Taysom, I mean, you get what you
Yeah,
deserve. For
I gotta be honest.
Taysom.
That's a meh game from Tyreek Hill. That's one play in some games. 15 points. Right
That's
there.
fair. I mean, it's 15 points though.
True.
You're not wrong though, because Tyreek Hill can put up 30 plus really easily.
And those
But I
that
mean,
Thielen and Zeke on his bench.
yeah, that hurts a bit.
Those are both from the Thanksgiving game, so we get to watch that all weekend. And That must have sucked.
That
But
hurts.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
have won with them in, but it would have looked a lot more
it
respectable.
would have
It
looked.
would
Yeah, it would have
it would help the
better.
points for. Yeah,
Fair.
True.
Juju is Juju bad? He had 0 last week.
Juju's
He must
free.
not
I
have
think
played
this, I
last
think
week.
he was out the previous week. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
and he got
he was
hurt
on
week
short,
10, I would assume.
I'm pretty sure he was on limited touches.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. All right, well, good win for you, Jake. There, that was actually huge for your
Big win
playoff
for me.
push. That was
Lemons
huge
didn't
win.
really need it at all, but
And also,
needed it.
this is the only matchup this week that I picked incorrectly. I was 4 for 5 once again, 2 weeks in a row.
yeah,
So for anybody keeping track out there, like myself, I'm 52% on the season after going 0 for 7 to start off the year.
you had to know the food game was coming. You had to know.
Well, I do appreciate Yahoo keeping the name. If you scroll up a little bit, Chiz, see where it
It
says
does.
full recap.
Oh, right here. Let's get this dab.
this dab.
Knock Lisa's
Let's
locker.
get this done.
That's huge. Oh man, let's do Greg and Nick. You know, Greg got a little close here. You know, it was respectable. If Jamar Chase would have fucking played, Greg, come on, what are you doing,
Oh my
man?
god.
Come on, dude. Boo. I mean, he wouldn't have won anyways, to be fair. But come on, Greg, show some respect.
Yet another Mickey Mouse win for Nick B. That's all I gotta say.
Yes. Another one.
I mean, you expect it when you go up against Greg, but yeah, McCaffrey is banged up. I think I heard that McCaffrey's gonna play this week. If I remember correctly, there's probably a report on it. Yeah, he believes he dodged a bullet with his knee. I think he was day to day from what I had heard. But Ramondre was good, Kelsey good, Jeff Wilson good. Will Lutz is terrible, but Saints got good. I don't understand the Saints offense. Did you know? I saw a stat where it was something like Andy Dalton was the highest passer rating throughout the regular season or something stupid like that, and it blew my mind. So don't quote me on that. But I swear I saw that on Twitter from one of the analysts, and I was like, Jesus. But yeah, DJ Moore on the bench. You know, it's good to know that you can start DJ Moore every 6 weeks.
True.
Wait, did Sam Darnold play this week? I think he did.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you
I think
honestly.
he did.
Poor from me.
Yeah, that's good.
The Broncos versus the Panthers was not on my radar.
Yeah. Ramondre had yet another good week. He's been like Mr. Consistent
He's
this
been
year.
very
too.
well. Yeah, and it
I don't
helps
think
that
he was-
Damian Harris got hurt too. But
yeah,
still,
I don't think he was great today, but he had like an okay week.
yeah,
I'm pretty
12.8.
sure.
That's decent. I guess Buffalo, you can't really complain about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, Greg T-Law. Hey, I'm pretty sure T-Law's on the market, Laner, if you're trying to get after him, because T-Law's been he's been solid this year. You know, he
Might have to drop in the trade deadline.
Trade deadline.
true, yeah. Off season though. Off season.
True.
Damian Pierce has
Keep
been
it.
bad 2 weeks in a row. It's Houston though. It's not Pierce. It's the fact that Houston gets blown out so quickly. I mean, it was 30-0 in that game, and then you just abandoned the run. I mean, he had 5 carries and 8 yards on 5 carries, which is pretty fucking bad. But still, it's tough. It's tough to be a Damian Pierce owner like myself. I feel for you, Greg. JT was good though. Hawkinson, another good week. Hawkinson's going to be interesting in Minnesota.
He's looked pretty good.
One
in
game not in
Minnesota.
double digits. It's very impressive, considering what he was doing with the Lions. Montgomery was solid. Yeah, DPJ bad. Yeah, that's tough, man. If Greg would have had, man, he just needed one guy. If he starts MVS and Brandon Cooks, does he get a win? No, it's close though. It's real close. Dang. Poor Greg. Should have picked up Zay Jones instead of Manti. Be getting more wins.
See, I know Nick B's in first, but I feel like some people might have better teams than Nick B. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It kind
For
of
most
depends on
the season, I was-
McCaffrey for me.
For most of the season, I was looking at when we were looking at the standings, Cade was most of the time he had more points for.
Yeah,
in like ninth place
If
than Nick would
he
have in the
wasn't
top
tanking
3.
anymore, I think he would still probably.
That's
have
why
more points.
I didn't think about that when you said it, but I wish he wasn't tanking because I really wanted that to happen. Like,
Yeah,
what if
have-
somebody that didn't make the playoffs actually had more points than somebody who got first? I've never seen that before, but
I think
possible.
it
It was
would've been on
impossible.
pace. would have been tight for sure.
There
at the
was a
very
poll out
moment.
at the beginning of the year that put out,
I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
that.
I did vote. I remember for the points for.
highest points
Mm.
for out of the teams that
I think
have
I
made the
voted
playoffs
against
goes in the
it.
6-hole.
But I understand the traditional.
Yeah,
Either
yeah.
is cool for me.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it exists because I might be that 6th spot and my points for is terrible. Let's move over to the matchup of the week. Brandon and Lane.
Oh yeah. I just want to apologize to you, Lane. I got so lucky. I saw Najee got knocked out. You 100% would have won if Najee did not get knocked out. But
It was like
it is
end of the
what
first
it
half. It was
is.
pretty early, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think he didn't return for the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he oblique apparently.
I know third quarter for sure he went out at some point. But
Dang.
yeah,
Tough for Lane.
After the first quarter, he got banged up and he sat a couple plays, and they kept showing him holding his oblique, and yeah, he ended up playing a little bit, and I was like, well, whatever, it is what it is. But then I checked the score after the third quarter, and I was like, oh, he's out. Let's go.
That's
But-
tough for Lane. But you
Yeah,
get what
Josh
you deserve,
Allen.
Lane, because your name stinks.
Yeah, he was on like a 3-game win streak with that
Yeah, he
name.
was. By the way, Brandon, this was an absolutely massive win for me right here when you beat Lane,
Hey, you're
because I
welcome.
beat Lane on points 4, believe it or not.
All I know is I'm eyeing up that bye week spot. That's all I'm saying. I'm eyeing up that
Ooh.
second place spot.
Ooh. Watch out, Mike.
I play him this week, so this is a big 2-game swing.
And then I play him next week, I think, or the following week. So you'll need a win from me there.
Yeah, my team this week was just. I mean, don't look at my bench scoring. I could have been a better
You
manager
have Miles
this week. but,
Sanders.
I was pretty
start
proud
running
of-
next against Green Bay? Question mark.
yeah, I was decently proud of everyone else. Dalton Schultz. It's good to see him back and being
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz. I mean, he only had a couple targets. I'm pretty sure, but he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
so
2 touchdowns all it takes, baby.
remember watching that while eating some turkey. I was so happy. Pacheco showed up for me.
That was a good start. Respect
Yeah,
on
he-
that one.
I was freaking out between him, Cordero Patterson, and Sanders. I never want to start Cordero Patterson again.
Oh, me
And
neither.
then it was like Sanders has been playing decently well, but he had 2 poor weeks.
Yeah, it's tough to start a guy that has back-to-back 5-point weeks.
Then the Packers had that Swiss cheese defense all game, and
Yep.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts topped his single game rushing record this season
So-
in the first quarter.
I think
So-
the Eagles had their most amount of rushing yards since like the
Didn't he-
40s or something.
Didn't he break
something
Michael
weird.
Vick's rushing record?
I
for the
don't know
Eagles?
what the exact
I-
stat
I'm
was,
pretty sure I
but-
heard that he
Well, I think
broke Michael
possible.
Vick's single game rushing record. Let's fact check.
That sounds right. I think I remember hearing that. Did you guys mention already the fact that Tua, I'm pretty sure, got benched
Yeah, he beat
Oh,
Michael.
when they were 30?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough for Lane.
Yeah, Lane just got very unlucky this week. I won't lie. And I got very, very lucky. But sometimes you need it. I deserve it. I've got the highest points for. I need some luck going my way. But yeah, it was a franchise record for a Philly quarterback with 157 rush yards.
Yeah, beat it by
That's what was.
27 yards. That's quite a bit. So
Wow.
kudos to Jalen Hurts there, and Joe Barry. I hope he walked home to Green Bay from Philly.
Yeah.
Some say the Eagles. Some say Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts are still running to this day. So, yeah, hey, really big win for you there, Brandon. This is massive for the playoffs because if Lane beats you here, things look a whole lot different for you and Lane.
Oh yeah, big time.
So, I understand the team name this week for Lane, honestly. Respect.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the standings. Let's talk playoffs a little bit here. What do we got going on? So we still only 2 teams locked for the playoffs. We have Nick B and Lemons locked for the playoffs. Right. We have let's see. Starting at the bottom, we've got Caden Gregor mathematically eliminated at this point. You guys are out. Technically, Preston can still make it. He does. So he has Greg this week, which should be a win. You have to win that, man. I mean, technically, he doesn't have to, but Realistically, he does.
Pretty much, he
Yeah.
needs to. Yeah.
I mean, it's Greg. Come on. No offense to you, Greg, but I hope to see you on the show next week, Greg, because that would be hilarious. But he does play Lane the last week of the regular season, and that will be huge because Lane has the
Yeah.
lowest points for right now of us 6-6 teams. If he beats Lane, he knocks ahead of him on the tiebreaker. So he needs to beat Lane week 4. But also, if Lane wins this week and Manti loses to Greg, then Manti's on it. Yeah, Manti has to win. Realistically, has to win both. And then Jake. Also, so me, Laner, and George are all at 6-6. We're all fighting for those last two spots. I think I played Jake and Lemons, which is a tough schedule. Laner plays Nick B this week, and he's got Manti the following week. And George has Cade this week, which should be a win. And he's got
Me.
you last week, Jake.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. There's 3 of us. Only 2 of us can go, assuming Manti doesn't make it in. Manti could upset that a little bit, but I got to keep my tiebreaker over Lane, and we'll be okay. But it gets a little interesting, I guess, with you and Brandon, Jake, because you guys aren't locked, but you're very close to being locked. If Jake beats me, Jake's locked this
Yep.
week. And if Jake beats me and Brandon wins one of his last 2, he's also... Well, if Brandon wins one of his last 2 and any of our 6-6 teams lose, Brandon's in.
Yeah, I would like to think I'm in. Hopefully, with these points 4, I just need to get one more win. I do have
George-
Lemons and Nick B, which is
That's tough, yeah.
tough, but
George is probably in here.
yeah, I'm thinking it.
Yeah.
He's playing
'cause
Cade this week.
and he's got that
Yeah,
points 4.
you're right.
He's got the points scored by a mile. So the only way he's not in is if
If he loses
you
both.
and Lane both win,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then you and Lane both win next week.
If me and
and then he
Lane both
loses.
win out, yeah, we don't play each other, so that's possible. Yeah,
I mean, you would
I'd
think
have to look further. Lane does play
he
Nick
plays
this
Manti.
week.
And
this
Nick.
is actually going to get really interesting because you'd think Manti is going to win this week against Greg. I mean, it's not a lock, but you would think
Mhm.
Manti is going to be 6-7, and then Lane.
plays Nick
is
B, right? So
playing-
he might lose.
Yeah.
And Greg gets to play this week, not worrying about losing them one pick at all. So he can beat Preston for fun.
Like there is a very possible planet where you can see you, Bryant, Lane, and Manti all on 6-7 going into next week.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting
And
spicy.
and the thing about that is Lane and Preston play each other that week,
yeah,
which
so
means
it's
that
gonna-
I have to win to stay alive. And
and probably by
I play Lemons.
and you're gonna want Lane to win that probably
'cause
because
I have
Manti
Lane
will
on the
have you
tiebreaker.
on points 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need Lane to win that, but I also have to beat Lane over this next 2 weeks. Even though I don't play him, I have to outscore him. Yeah, it's an interesting situation we've got going on here. So, and it'll be a little more clear next week. When after this first round of games, there's a little less to shake it up. Manti will be eliminated by then. It'll be great. Imagine if Greg beats him. That would be hilarious. So, yeah, those are the standings. Playoffs are heating up. This race is far from. I don't fucking know.
Finished.
Far finished. Thank you. I was gonna say far from close, but it's very close. Oh man! All right. Players of the week. Nick had Jalen Hurts with 34.82. George had Josh Jacobs with the 55-point game. He also had Justin Jefferson with the 32.34. Brandon, you had Dalton Schultz with 19.
That
Lemons
was the
had
highest of the week.
that was highest tight end of the week. Yes.
Oh.
And Lemons had Nick Folk 15. I had Miami defense 20. Boom. Transactions probably not super crazy. Let's take a peek. 25th. Yeah, not much.
I got kind of crazy with the transactions this week.
Nice, dude. George picked up Amir Abdullah. Lemons cut Isaiah Likely and doesn't. He didn't pick anybody. He must have had somebody come off IR or something. George picked up Paris Campbell. Who cares? Jake, you dropped 31 on Zonovan Knight. Did anybody else bid? Nobody
Hey, if
else
you got
even
the budget,
bid.
spend it. If you got the
Not a
budget,
single
Every-
person bid. He drops 31 on Donovan Knight and 21 on Benny Snell.
Oh yeah.
No bids on either of those pickups.
spend them while you got them.
Benny Snell's hurt too. He
We're
was
just
limited.
dropping it. We're just dropping
He's-
cash.
Yeah, he's dropping.
How do you
stat.
see if someone else bid?
Are you looking at my screen right now?
Oh yeah, I am. So I'm guessing no.
You go to
one else bid
Fab
on
offers
Baltimore.
here.
Or on mobile.
Yeah,
The
I don't know what it looks
Western
like on
Boost.
mobile. Not gonna lie, but the
Western
last
Boost.
I'm on. No, I'm not looking at.
the
mobile.
last contested bid is me picking up Allen Robinson, who's on
Allen
IR now,
Robinson.
so that
The-
hurts. Also, I
That's
dropped
normal.
30 and everybody else bid 5. Pain. But anyways, yeah, Jake
I
was
bid
dropping
on both
stacks.
those players, I think, maybe Sunday night, and then kind of forgot about it until
Oh,
like maybe
yeah.
Wednesday night. I'm like, oh, I already have those players. But it's all good because I usually don't spend enough free
True.
agency dollars.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, what are we looking at for Fab? Usually got $20. There's a lot of people with some fat stacks right now, honestly.
I'll regret it, of course, if something happens that
Mm-hmm.
there's a huge waiver wire pickup. But
Yep.
I don't know. I was thinking like my bench is kind of rough right now. My bench is terrible right now, and I have a couple injuries. And I just thought at that time, whatever it was, Sunday night,
Mm-hmm.
I might as well, if one of those running backs hit, I didn't want you to get him.
Yep.
So it's worth a shot.
Respect.
See how it goes.
Let's see. Brandon picked up Baltimore defense for $6. Toddzilla. I don't think we commented on that earlier. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
zoom
we'll see
in on
next.
that.
We'll
real
see
quick.
for the future matchups.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Respect. I saw that earlier. That was funny. Kenneth Gainwell got picked up by Cade. Cleveland, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell got cut after whatever. George is doing George things. I picked up Conklin, which honestly, best pickup of the week. Not biased at all. Mike White gonna run Tyler Conklin to the promised land. Let's hit the matchups for this week, huh? So they already started. Me versus Jake off to a rough start. Stephon Diggs had a solid game. Pain. I think this is the lineup I'm rolling with. Conklin's in the lineup. Knox, big bench from Knox. Holy, Conklin was a massive pickup, Jake. Oh, baby. Knox goose for 2 weeks in a row. I think Knox
Yeah.
is hurt. I know he's not on the injury report, but he's had some injury issues from what I had read. But
He had one target today. I'm seeing.
that is massive for me. Holy shit. Okay, cool. That makes me feel good. I did that like
Now you've got a
right before
huge
the game.
game here. With the season on the line,
Yeah.
potentially. I would say it's not over, but
It's
you
really
gotta
tough.
you
to
gotta
beat
make the
Lemons next
decision
week.
between Justin Herbert and Justin Fields.
I'm starting
You
Justin
got Herbert
Herbert.
right now. Okay.
Even after a running quarterback just broke.
I'm worried about Justin
their
Fields'
team.
shoulder.
Yeah, that's fair.
All you gotta do is worry about his legs. I think it's fine. He's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
I'm just saying it'd be a tough decision for me thinking of like I would be so sad if Fields had 50 on the bench.
it's a good point.
I'll tell you that.
We got decimated by Justin Fields. I feel like Green Bay's defense has this weird knack of if you get decimated by one part of the game.
Joe Barry will figure it out, right?
I think we're gonna shut down the run and we're gonna get obliterated through the air by Justin Fields.
Okay.
All I know is I'm not Bryant, but if I was Bryant, I would probably be moving Olave to that Lazard spot, and I would rock with Brian Robinson in the flex.
Yeah, I think so. I guess the Giants.
I like his carries. He's been getting a lot of
He
carries.
has been.
This
That's
last week he
true.
looked really good. That's just me.
Yeah.
I also hate the Miami defense this week, but
San
They also
Fran's
did just-
offense stinks.
yeah, that's fair.
And Miami's defense, but yeah, I know what you're saying. My other defense, I guess I didn't have one. I thought I had the Patriots, but I guess not. Yeah, I looked at the waiver wire and I just didn't see anything more appealing, honestly. So I was like, fuck it. San Fran's offense seems dysfunctional. Let's ride. But you might be right. Maybe I don't know. It's gonna be tough to start Justin Fields because Herbert was pretty good last week in Vegas. Their defense stinks, man. But
Well, since you guys are both neutral in this and you're going to vote for yourself, I think I would vote for.
I actually can't vote. Oh, pain. The matchup.
I would go with Can You Diggs It personally.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because Diggs had 22 points. I mean, that was basically his projection. But
That was his projection.
yeah, I would have to go Diggs. Or Diggs. I would have to go Jake.
You could say Diggs. No,
Pain.
Jameson Williams has been sitting on my bench the entire year, and there was some news saying he would.
I thought he got pulled off IR. Did he not?
He almost did.
Oh.
He almost did. But I mean, now
That's the
I'm reading
wrong
it says that it'd be a tall order. I don't care if he rushes back, honestly, but
You do want to
it sounds
see
like
him at some point.
there's potential that he could be back in the next couple weeks. I'd love to see him come back in like 2 weeks.
He's not the
See him
kind of
play
guy that
playoffs.
he's not the kind of guy that touches your lineup at all this
I would
year, but you
never-
want to see it.
I wouldn't let him touch my lineup, but if
Keeper.
it's Kareem Hunt or Michael Carter in my flex, or Jameson Williams, there's at least not a 0% chance that I
Fair.
wouldn't route,
Yeah.
depending on how the week
You would have
first
to
week
have
goes.
yeah.
I probably wouldn't start him, but if
I
I'm
would-
feeling really bad about Kareem Hunt,
If it
I
were
could totally
me,
see myself in a playoff game being like, yeah, Jameson, maybe.
I'd need at least 2 weeks of double digits to start him. Otherwise, it's Romeo Dobbs.
The only thing I don't like about this matchup is seeing that the Packers scored 33 last week and Lazard had 3 targets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I understand. I'm pretty sure we only threw the ball like 25 times that whole game.
It's J-Lo season, baby.
Yeah, Rodgers had 16 attempts. Love had 9. But maybe
Yeah.
I'm just a Lazard hater. I don't know.
Might be.
We also destroyed the Bears on the ground the last time we played them.
Damn. You guys make me
We'll
rethink
see.
my lineup. Fuck. All right, well,
Yeah, it's a
This is
big
a-
week for you, so I'll let you make
this is
that
a
decision.
Yeah,
huge
yo,
week because
the viewers want you to, not the viewers, the listeners. I guess
Listeners.
you,
they
whatever.
could be viewers.
The listeners, they want you to have a live figure out your team right now in your lineup. So
No, I don't hate what Brandon was saying. I honestly, the Giants, I don't know how they've been against the run this year. Neutral. They've been pretty average, 16th. So, yeah, Justin Fields might make an appearance. It's not a bad shout. But, yeah, I don't know. I might ride with Alan Lazard. I feel like Green Bay is going to put up some points against Chicago.
Yeah,
It's
as
tough
much
with
as the
Rodgers, though,
Packers-
because Rodgers is all banged up, and it sounds like he's going to play.
Yeah, shit as the Packers have looked, you got to back them against the Bears always, I feel like.
Rodgers has to renew his ownership.
Yep.
true.
So yeah, this is a must-win for me though, honestly, because I don't know if I can beat Lemons next. It's this or Lemons next week. I need to win one, preferably both, to guarantee playoffs. Yeah, it's gonna be
And
tough.
I would very much like to win this one.
Conklin's dropping 30 on you, son of a bitch.
George can definitely beat me next week. That's scary. I forgot the
Start
Packers'
Jake.
bye week is next week, a week 14 bye
Oh,
in
that's
fantasy.
gross.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's not
At least
disgusting.
like for the Packers
JT
owners.
had that last year.
Wait, who else is on bye next week then? If it
I don't know. I'm gonna while you check that, Jake. I'm gonna pull up Greg v. Preston. I mean, this should just be a Preston
go for
dub.
it.
That's
It
pretty
is,
much all you gotta say here. But Chase is
The
finally back.
Falcons,
Falcons. Nobody cares
the
about that.
Colts,
Oh, it's
the
JT
Saints.
again.
and wait, that is not true. It says Commanders and the Saints, which are both not true. I don't think. Because the Commanders play the Giants, yeah. That was false information.
No biggie.
I'm seeing Falcons, Packers, Colts, Saints, Commanders.
Commanders too.
Oh wait, I'm looking at this week. I'm an idiot.
Ah.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, wait, the Commanders play, but that's this week. Yep, sorry.
All right,
It
cool.
was not
That
false.
seems just really weird to me that the Packers would have a week 14 bye.
Yeah, man.
With the fan, but I guess they don't. Maybe they don't care about fantasy.
Nope, they did not.
Maybe they knew the Packers were going to be bad this year.
They just knew. So
Yeah.
I mean, Preston wins this game, right? I'm picking Preston, but I would if there was ever a time for you to win a game, this is it.
I mean, when you look at Greg's team,
It's
he
decent.
has the decent. Yeah.
Yeah. If Jamar Chase
Lawrence
has a
against
Chase
Detroit,
game,
you can see Lawrence going off against Detroit. Chase
Yeah.
against the Chiefs. Those games are always crazy when it's Bengals
JT
Chiefs.
Dallas is easy to run on. We did
Like,
it.
Bengals Chiefs are insane games. I feel like always.
Montgomery's
So,
playing against the Packers. I mean, we saw happen last week.
JT's been back to doing JT things.
He has been, and Damian Pierce has been. He's been tough to start the past 2 weeks, but Cleveland's one of the worst run defenses in the league.
Are the Rams starting Perkins next week again? You guys know?
Oh, I don't know.
Running back.
I'm just looking at that Seattle
He's the
defense.
quarterback. It's not.
Oh, yeah, because Stafford. Yeah.
It's not Stafford. I know that.
Is he not
Whoever
playing?
it is, I don't think
Bryce
so.
Perkins.
I thought he was
playing.
questionable.
So what?
I think Stafford has a chance to play.
John Wolford.
Oh God.
I don't know. Either way, I was just looking at Seattle defense.
If you look
I
up
was wondering who the Rams
Stafford,
were playing.
it seems that they're saying that they are possibly going to shut down Stafford and Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp for the rest of the season.
Respect. So.
But yeah, Perkins looked like one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen last week.
That's what I'm saying. The Seahawks defense for Greg
that could be.
might go off.
Yeah,
because they also. Oh no, they
just gave up like 1 million points last week, I think. But
yeah,
the Rams look like the worst team in the league without Stafford. It seems.
Let's move on to another big week. They're all big weeks. Let's be honest. Brandon and Lemons. The Toddzilla. Now we can get the zoom in action here. Oh yeah, that's actually a decent Photoshop. That's hilarious. The Toddzilla.
See, I could have went the mother route, but I went with the Todd father last time we played. I had to stick with Todd.
Jake has to sorry, not Jake. Lemons has to update his team name. He's gotta go in. What do we got going on here? Debo's still a little banged up, it looks like. Joe Mixon. Is Joe Mixon playing this week?
I don't know. It's gonna be
limited
be
today. Ooh, that'll be
tight. If
he
doesn't play, I'm gonna.
Oh, this is 2 days in a row. If you're limited on Wednesday, you usually play, from my experience.
If he doesn't, though, I'll have to put Miles Sanders in there, which I mean,
Tennessee's not.
I feel like you just have to cross your fingers and pray when you put Miles Sanders in the lineup.
Jalen Waddle versus Tyreek Hill. Whew.
Yeah, I think the last time this happened, I'm pretty sure they both went off. I don't really.
It'll be tough to go off against San Fran, though.
Actually, I'm pretty sure we can check this. Actually, I don't remember what week.
Yeah, so Josh Allen had a mid game. Nick Folk missed a field goal that would have made this a lot more of an impressive start for him. So that's good to see if you're Brandon. Yeah, this is a tight one. And Brandon, you win this game, hey, there's a really good chance you make the playoffs. Like, you're basically guaranteed to make the playoffs if you win this game. Lemons is locked. He's fighting for that. He's fighting to keep the bye week. But this would be a big one if you're hunting for that bye week.
Who does Lemons play next week?
Me.
Okay, yeah. As long as it's not Cade or Greg, then I still have a chance for that bye week spot, yeah.
Yep. I'll try to do it for you, Chief, because I might need to.
I mean, I'm licking my chops seeing Taysom Hill in there. I don't care about the big game potential.
Honestly,
I'm looking at this matchup.
If Lemon starts
Josh Allen versus Mahomes.
I mean, you're killing your roster with Taysom Hill.
I'm trying to see why Lemons. I know you'd rather have Deshaun Watson and not let someone else have him, but he's kind of just gonna rot on that bench now that he's back this week. He's never gonna get in there over Mahomes, you'd think.
That's fair, but I mean, Mahomes could get injured, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're not wrong. I mean, Watson wasn't drafted, right? No, he wasn't drafted. Yeah, so you can't keep Watson, but yeah, whatever. You never know, I guess.
Yeah, this should be a fun week. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully Amari Cooper keeps doing what he's been doing. I feel like I'm finally confident starting him now, which when you look at his game log, I should have been anyway, but it's just Amari Cooper. I don't know.
Yeah. I had my coworker has Amari Cooper on his fantasy team, and he started him week 1. He stunk, so he benched him for 2 weeks, saw he was good. Started him week 4, 2 points. So he benched him, saw he was pretty good. Started him week 7. He had 10 points in PPR, but that was a standard league, so he had like 2 points.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he had must have been 7, right? He had 70 yards. Either way, not the game you want to see. And so he benches him. Starts in week 10.
It's just tough.
And now he said he's in the starting lineup rest of the season. He doesn't care what happens.
I might have to take him out of the lineup then. After hearing that.
So, yeah, I do play against him this week. I'll let you know how it goes. So, anyways, good matchup here. I'm excited.
Last
All
one.
these are good matchups, honestly, except for this. Oh, Cade Payne.
How's Debo looking here?
Oh, Cade, you better be checking that lineup, bro. I know you're tanking, but fuck. Chuba's got to get yanked. Damian Harris.
Debo didn't practice today. Sorry,
did he
I was
not?
still caught on my matchup with Lemons.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Midweek downgrade.
That's what I was reading.
That's interesting.
He was
actually.
limited Wednesday. Didn't practice.
Yeah, here's the thing. You want Debo to play because he's gonna stink if he plays.
Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
my-
And then
that's my
he'll
take.
toss Thielen in there.
An injured
probably.
Debo isn't an effective Debo. He has to be healthy.
Yeah, and he's gonna end up tossing Thielen in there.
And
probably,
Thielen's a bit
if he doesn't-
scary,
if he doesn't play. Yeah,
in my opinion. But
bit of a coin flip.
this should be this is a win for George. So kudos to you, George. I mean, and if George wins this game, he's pretty much a lock for the playoffs, right? I mean, he's got the points for it. So
Yeah, there's like a 0%. I
Yeah.
see Cade as a 6% underdog, but I don't.
no, I mean, Damian Harris was in his starting lineup. He didn't even play, and Chuba's. I mean, he'll have to.
I understand
help the swap
tanking, but you
Chuba.
gotta make it a little
Yeah,
less
you gotta-
obvious.
You gotta start a lineup, Cade.
You see all these juicy projections on the bench.
I'll shoot you a message, Cade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of projected points on the bench, but hey, there's nothing wrong with benching your studs as long as you start a full
No,
lineup.
yeah.
You son of a bitch. So, yeah, you have to get that. At least get Chuba swapped out, man. So, anyways, that's a free win for George. Nick B and
George,
Lane.
George does have to change his name to damn 5th place. At
It's
least.
true. Damn fifth
It
place.
just can't, it
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
6th place.
He might be. He might be fourth place next week, depending on what happens.
We'll see about that.
Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, come free, bro. Last game of the week, Nick B, Laner. This is a big one for Lane. I mean, if Lane beats, he has to beat Manthai next week, but also, let's see. If Lane doesn't get this win, he has to beat Pressa next week, and he has to hope that me or George loses at least one game. And he also needs to outscore or outwin me if he doesn't win this.
Lemons is off to, or not Lemons. Lane is off to almost as good of a start as you could ask this week. All
Yeah.
3 of Nick B's
Yeah.
guys
Under
missed some
projection.
projection. So
Yeah, well, it's tough to start players in this matchup. I mean, Patriots and Buffalo both have pretty good defenses.
the only thing I see with Lane is if he's gonna end up starting Tua, or if he's gonna change it to Dak. I don't know.
Yeah, San Fran's a tough matchup, man.
Yeah,
Indy's not much better, though. I mean,
No,
it
it's
is
not,
better, but it's not much better. He would have loved some T-Law against Detroit.
yeah.
I don't. Hey, did you guys watch the Buffalo Patriots game? Did you guys see Gabe Davis? Did you see Josh Allen miss Gabe Davis on a touchdown?
No,
Right
I
on the
didn't.
sideline.
No, I
Ooh,
didn't see
yeah.
it.
all I
He
saw
missed him,
was
overthrew him a little bit. That would have been.
some Bills guy got ejected. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, I missed that part. I was bowling.
He-
So.
Yeah, there was like a defenseless receiver, Jacoby Myers. Oh, on Lane's bench,
Oh,
Jacoby Myers
got
got
ripped.
assaulted. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
dang. Pain. Yeah, so you're not wrong, though. This is a pretty good start for Lane. I mean, he hasn't had any players play yet, but he has Najee in the lineup. I don't know if I'd feel confident in Najee playing, let alone.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Swift on the bench if he wants to put him in for
Swift has
Najee,
been
but
so.
yeah, they're-
Back-to-back double-digit weeks, to be fair. He plays the Jags.
Najee was on pace to have a good week.
You're gonna
Last
have
week, he
to
just-
start. You have to start DeAndre Swift, in my opinion. It has to be. You could argue Mostert, but I don't know. Mostert's he had a good week before the bye, but
I don't like him against San Fran.
no, yeah, I mean you can't.
hmm
Later, you got to start Swift, man. I mean, Najee's probably not going to play. Even if he does, I don't know if I like starting him. Hayden Hurst is a tough start, too. Especially with Chase back.
Although Nick B has a slow start, I still think he will win this game.
Lane has some tough matchups. He's also
I was
got some
looking
good
at Nick B's
matchups.
side. I'm like, oh, I think Lane might actually pull us off. Then I looked back at Lane's side. I'm like, I don't know about this one.
I'm
It is weird
taking
thinking
Lane.
that DeAndre Swift, he's getting out carried by Jamal Williams.
Yeah, well, that's because he's on a pitch
weird to
count
think
though,
about.
because he's been banged up.
True. Jamal Williams has just been playing good
And
in
yeah,
general.
you're right. Jamal's been excellent. I think he leads the NFL in touchdowns.
He's been doing so well.
He's gonna break Barry Sanders' single season touchdown record. I think he was like 3 touchdowns off of it last week.
Damn.
So
I did not realize that.
yeah, he has like 14 or something ridiculous like that. He has a lot.
That Detroit Jags game is really gonna make or break Lane's week, especially
Yeah,
if he
it
does
is.
end up starting
Yep.
Swift.
Amon
'Cause he's already
Ra,
got him on
Christian
Ra
Kirk.
and
He
Kirk.
needs those games.
And if he puts Swift in there,
Looking back at McCaffrey,
Hmm
very good chance he doesn't get 20 here, especially
I
if he's
agree.
even feeling a little bit injured. They're not going to use him that much. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
maybe they will, but I don't know. San Francisco's not going to need him to be a workhorse in that game. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm taking Lane in this one, but I understand taking Nick B still.
I think I would still go Nick B. But
I'm riding
That's
the
a good point,
Jags.
Hmm?
Yeah, there it is.
Us.
So, let's do it. And those are
I'm
all of
going to
the
go with
matchups.
Lane. I'm going to go with Lane.
Well, I will back Nick B to keep his first place and keep winning these fluky games.
Respect. Oh man.
It feels like actually, it's not really fair to pick when there's already 3 players that played for Nick that were under projection.
Yeah, that's true. I probably would have taken Nick
But-
before that happened.
But then again, Nick still has a
Need a head start.
56% chance to win, so I think it's
He's
fair
still
to
the
vote for
favorite.
the underdog here.
Yep, I'm going the dog. Can't be mad. All right, I think that does it for the rewind, gentlemen. So good luck to everybody that's not named Jake. Fuck you, Jake.
Brian,
And Lemons.
If Cade can check his
Lisa's a
lineup
lover.
and somehow beat George, that would be crazy. And I would do some dirty things. I need Nick B to win this one. I don't know why I'm picking Lane. I'm changing my pick. I'm changing it to Nick. Just because I need it.
Good
Good
win,
call.
Lane.
Shit.
Actually, no, you've been
I'm 4 for
Picking
5 2 weeks in a
pretty good.
row, so that's the one I'm gonna get wrong.
True.
So, yeah, I mean that'll do it. This is a big playoff week for everybody. So good luck. Everybody except for Jake and Brandon. I don't remember who you played. Oh, and Lemons. Yeah, Lemons, you stink. So, gentlemen, Jake, I'll see
Good
you next
luck.
week. Brandon,
Yeah.
good luck. Hopefully, we're seeing Greg next week. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Big win against
that
Manti.
would be nice.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Have yourselves a wonderful week. See you next time. Goodbye.